motherfucker back there is not real. And
today, I am going to be doing you a learning. I'm going to be bestowing my wisdom upon you. You will be one of the learnt, because I believe in my heart of hearts that you need to know why bitches are in fact not even real. They're not real. They can't be real. And I don't just mean like outside bitches. I also mean the bitches in your head. They can't be real either. They gotta go. They all gotta go. And I know what you're thinking. That doesn't sound like double deciding. It's not. It was never supposed to be, I don't think. And that's not gonna be a hard sell, but I'm gonna sell it. I'm selling it. It's my truth, and I'm gonna sell it. Also, I feel like it's worth warning you that here at the edge of the woods, nihilism is not a bad word, and dark concepts are part of the point. Like, that's why we at the edge of the woods, you know what I mean? We're deciding to go into the shadows or whatever. Anyways, so if you're sensitive to that sort of thing, you should click away now, because Lacan, there's no cope in Lacan. This particular message is for a specific phase of life, you know what I mean? And yeah, if you're already teetering on the edge, I don't know. Don't click away. It should be noted that I'm almost always talking about EJs because I'm an EJ, and I'm heavily minding my business, you know what I mean? And also I might be a bit of a narcissist, kind of an egomaniac, you know? So that would be why. It's all about me, I guess. Anyway, I'm kidding about as much as you want me to be. Okay, so let's break it down. 1, the big other. Okay, so Lacan is kind of hard to understand, actually. But I'm going to do my best with my very limited abilities to make a single lick of sense. When you are born, you have no sense of I. You don't really draw any distinctions between yourself and the rest of the world. You just exist with no add-ons necessary. But quickly that has to change for survival purposes. You enter the mirror stage. The mirror stage is where you gain this sense of I and learn to place yourself in the world in contrast to other things. It is then that you start to develop the big other. Now, the big other has aspects of it that are similar to the superego, but they are not exactly the same as the superego. The big other forms when you combine the symbolic and the imaginary during the mirror stage as you develop. The imaginary serves to help you figure out who you are in relation to everything else distinct from it, and the symbolic tells you what it means. So in the imaginary, you say I am, and in the symbolic you say, and that means ... about me. The big other is similar to the superego in the sense that it is an internal, ever-present judge inside the psyche. However, the big other also includes the court system itself and the imagery and symbolism. It also includes all the symbolic meaning in everything that you do, and that accumulates from the time you start learning who you are. You start learning what that means. And in a lot of ways, that's a good thing because it helps you survive. But then in a lot of ways, it's a noose around your neck. It's the ball and chain that you carry with you everywhere. You get it from religion, your mother, the way you're treated in school by other children. On the one hand, it gives you patterns that you need for survival. And then on the other hand, it gives you a lot of extra stuff that can cripple you and makes decider things, frankly, feel very, very real. The fact of the matter is, you don't just make it not real. There's large portions of it that actually just aren't real, that they're just constructed. They're a meaning that has been made without your conscious consent. It was handed to you, and now you live with it like a weight. 2. Life as an object instead of a subject. So, especially if you're an EJ, but also really if you're anyone, you spend a large majority of your life performing. Even in your thoughts, you police your own thoughts for what is good and acceptable, what is right and wrong. You exist primarily in the third person.
I don't know, everyone's a narcissist except you. I think that's what Instagram has been telling me. But you ever see those things that are like 50 texts that a monster sends? And I'm like, oh no, I set number 4. I did number 4 a few times this year. I am constantly in that battle with myself where it feels like Instagram is telling me that I'm so toxic. And I think the idea is that I'm supposed to look at that and go, yeah, everybody else does this. But sometimes I'm like, oh no, I'm the worst. I hope that you can relate to that. What is your name? That's what Instagram says. That's not true. Instagram doesn't say that. I ran out of things to say and I said that's what Instagram's.
So in all this time, how much are we actually existing in our own experience in the first person subjectively? You know, as your own person. Like, are you even living your life if everything is filtered through all this meaning that we have made? Again, the more DE you are, the worse it is. And the more masculine the extroverted decider, the worse it is. And the more masculine the known information, the OI, the worse it's going to be, the heavier it's going to be on you. But like, how much time have you actually had in your own subjective, bitchy, ugly, terrible, evil, selfish experience to even know who you are in your DI? I'm not even playing with you. Like, you've only been allowed to see what could come through all that. And in that, how much being alive as yourself are you even really doing? How much of your life are you living for the proverbial Instagram? And how much of a waste is that when life is so completely short? I am at a phase where like I feel like death is in my peripherals at all times, and you just really don't have an infinite amount of time to live as yourself. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, I want to spend the amount of time that I'm here making a difference and helping people and mattering beyond myself, and that's fair, I guess, a little, sort of, but it can really only be real on the back end of having stripped away all the values that have been handed to you, because you don't even have enough of an internal compass to decide where you're actually having the impact that you want to. Like, literally, how can you even hear your own voice? Some of what we call our FI values are actually just your extroverted decider in your head saying, if you were a person who cared about things, you would care about this. If you were good, you would do this. And that wasn't really you, or it was you, but it was like a version of you that is all tied up in knots and blurry and from the perspective of an audience. 3. Objectivity is a means, not an end. Now, I know how are you supposed to know if you're going the right way if you don't triangulate and consult the tribe? I have been so grateful for the community and for the access to objectivity. But the thing is being infinitely more and more and more objective serves no purpose. There is no outside objective meaning that is real. And then there's no outside value that somebody can hand you. And then so to whose benefit are you wringing yourself dry to see yourself more and more and more clearly? Like, it's good to a point. Objectivity is a tool to help you see what you need to see to be okay. The error logs are for you, not you for the error logs. It exists for you. You do not exist for objectivity. Objectivity exists for you. If you live to be objective, then the thing that was supposed to set you free has now just become your new master. It's just a new thing to be a slave to. A special kind of masochism, if you ask me. Because just because it's true doesn't mean it's useful, at least for you. It's not growth for growth's sake. It's not growth for the imaginary judge. It's growth so that you can live a better life as you, yourself, not just a series of echoes of the voices of others. Then once you have done that and went through that process of deconstructing everything, then you're kind of in a position where you can be more giving, more DE, more seeing things from other people's perspective. But until then, if you have masculine DE at the top, the scales are always going to tip the wrong way. The wrong way. That's all I got to say is, like, until you have literally reconstructed the way you view the world to be on your own team, you're fucked. In short, nothing means anything, and thank fuck for that. Also, bitches should never be more real than you. Also, ideas should never be more real than you. Also, without you, there's no fucking point to the fucking story. So anyone who tries to hand you some Immanuel Kant, Kierkegaard on some bullshit, no. We're too old. I'm too old. I'm too old. I'm old.